Hey there, Steven here from Crystal Tractor, and just in time for mowing season, I am out here today with the one and only Gravely ZT HD. This is a fantastic mower, and to be honest, I might be a little biased because I like it so much I bought one myself. So I'm going to go over all the great features on the ZT HD line today, and maybe by the end we'll see if it just might be the right mower for you too. Let's take a look. So let's start by asking just who is the ideal consumer for the ZT HD line? And the answer to that's going to be for homeowners who are operating on anywhere from about 2 to 5 acres, who want a high quality mower that's going to last and be able to cut that size of acreage quickly. Or if you're doing smaller lots as a commercial operator, if you're doing a lot of residential 1/4 acre to around 2 acre lots, it's also great because it does have commercial grade components in it as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the options and features available here and see just how that's going to help you out. Now, what makes the ZT HD a great option for so many different kinds of operators is, first of all, going to be the deck itself. Now, we actually get 4 different deck size options on this line, ranging from 44 to 48 inches, to 52 inches, and as large as 60. So that's great if you have to get your mower in through small gates with the 44 and 48 inch deck sizes. Or if you don't have to worry about gates so much, but you want to be able to cover large acreages, you can use the 52 and the 60 inch sizes there. And you're going to be able to cover a little under 4 acres per hour with the 52 inch deck size, which is one of the most popular. Now, no matter what size deck you get, you're going to get a 3-blade operation, and you'll get about 18,000 feet per minute of blade tip speed, which is more than enough to utilize the X Factor deck here to get that grass dispersion way out of the way, keep your deck clear so that you're always mowing and not having to worry about chewing through clippings. The other thing about the X Factor deck is that it's going to be made out of 7-gauge welded steel construction on all the deck sizes. That's fantastic for keeping you from having to worry about sand and dirt chewing through your deck over time, and it also helps absorb the impacts when you accidentally hit an obstacle in the path. You also get a rigid reinforced bumper down here at the bottom of the deck, and you'll find anti-scalp rollers there as well. One of the other great things I like is the accessibility and how easy it is to keep your deck clean and maintained. We want to go ahead and drop the deck down. Right now I've got it locked at the highest position, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. But I'm going to drop it down real quick and show you all you have to do to get to your pulleys with this easy cover system. One of the defining features on modern Gravely decks is going to be the snap-on pulley cover system. You'll find this on pretty much all the mowers in the current Gravely lineup. What that means is all you have to do to access your pulleys, if you need to get down here and reseat your belt or clear some debris out of the way or whatever it may be, is you simply snap the cover off and it comes right out of the way. You have 3 snap grommets right here that sit on these 3 pegs on the deck. Some models do have 4. And that's all you have to do to be able to get in here and perform any maintenance. And to get them back on, it's just as simple as lining them back up and snapping them in place. While we're down here, we can also take a look at the side chute. So on all the ZT HDs, you're going to get a rubber side chute. This is going to help keep that chute, of course, from getting broken like a lot of plastic chutes would. And it also helps keep it from damaging anything that it comes into contact with. One of the other great things I like about it is it shares a feature that the Floorpan does. We're about to take a look at that as well. When you want to get it out of the way, all you have to do is lift up and it slots itself in place right here and stays firmly out of the way. And when you want to put it back, just lift up and bring it down. So now let's take a look at the Floorpan and see how it does the same thing and helps make maintenance easy as well. So the Floorpan itself here is another one of my favorite features on the mower. Now, first of all, it sets on rubber isolators here to help keep the vibration down for you. But when it's time to access the main section of your deck, all you have to do is grab the built-in handle, lift it up, and it hinges back and slots in place right here on these 2 hinge bolts. That makes it super easy, so you don't have to worry about misplacing any bolts to hold anything down or finding a place to put the Floorpan to set it out of the way. It just hinges back here and keeps itself in check. Now you can get down here and perform any maintenance that you need to, and when it's time to put it back, it's just as easy. So moving on up from the deck, let's take a look at where you're going to be spending most of your time, and that's here on the operator platform. One of the first things you might notice is when you're stepping up into the mower, you actually have a nice grip pad here on the left side of the deck. That's going to help you get up without losing your grip. And also in the front of the floor pan, there is a step-through grip as well, so you can actually get on and off the mower through the front without having to worry as much about tripping on your way off. Once you're up here, we'll find a nice, comfortable seat. And the seat's actually spring-loaded in the rear, and you have these folding armrests that can be flipped right up out of the way if you don't want those. And then on the right side here, we'll find our standard zero-turn controls. We're going to have a keyed start over here. We'll have a manual choke control, our throttle position lever, and a blade PTO. Just to the left of that here on the right side of the seat is going to be the parking brake. I find it to actually be a really good design. You don't have to go very far. Some mowers, you have to lean all the way down to get to that parking brake. On the HD here, it's very simple to just drop that and you're ready to go. On the left side, we're going to find a dual-sized cup holder, so you can fit larger mugs in here if you want. And there's a sort of storage pocket here as well. Behind that, we'll find the fuel filler neck. And speaking of the fuel, if we have a look under the seat, you'll be able to see the fuel level here, as you can actually see straight into the tank with that viewing window. Now going back here, the control arms are one of the more unique features we'll find as well. Now, this particular feature exists in all the Gravely mowers from the ZT-HD on up through the commercial lineup. Now, if you're familiar with zero turns, you're probably used to how you have to bring your control arms in before you're able to actually do any movement on the mower. What makes Gravely's different is that you can operate these control sticks even if they're fully extended out. So I have full range of motion here in the out position. If I actually want to bring them in for normal driving, they fold in. You don't have to bring them in. So that means that you have sort of a range of motion here. If you just want to hop on real quick, move it out of the way, you don't have to worry about bringing those in, and you can hop back off without having to fold the arms back out. When you do have them folded in, you've got 3 different grip angles here, depending on what you prefer. And one of the more interesting things too is that these handles themselves can be elevated, so you've got a few different positions here where you can remove these bolts and raise these arms up about 6 inches or so to give you a little bit more height on those arms. One of the other interesting features here about the vertical sticks is that if you're carrying a load for some reason, or if you just happen to be a little bit of a bigger guy and you want to be able to back up without hitting anything, you can do that with these sticks because you can leave them out of the way. We find some customers that actually enjoy this a lot, and it tends to be a very helpful feature. Moving on down here to the lower section of the platform, we'll find the cutting deck height control. Now what we'll find is a commercial style drop pin, and this system's going to allow you to get a cut height anywhere from 1.5 inches up to 5 inches in 1/4 inch increments the whole way. It also features a magnetic locking pin to help it stay in place, and we've got a transport height lock as well. Now this is pretty convenient because it means that you can go from your cutting height to a fully raised position and back again without having to worry about moving your height pin. So all I have to do here is push the deck all the way out, and that's going to lock it in here at just over the 5 inch mark, but that lets me leave my 3¼ inch pin right where it is. And I can transport without having to worry about obstacles in the way as much. Then when I want to go back to my standard cut height position, I just push the deck forward, pull up the lock lever, and drop it right back to where it was, and I'm ready to cut again. Raising and lowering the deck with the foot pedal is also made a little bit easier with the help of a spring assist system here on both sides. That's going to help take a little bit of weight off that deck too, so you're not having to push that all with your foot. Now, as we work our way around the back to take a look at the power plant on this, let's first take a moment to check out these tires. Now, here on the 48-inch, 52, and 60-inch versions of the mower, you're going to find these 11-inch aggressive tread tires right here to help you get through all kinds of tough terrain. On the 44-inch deck, you will find a slightly narrower 10-inch tire. Now, no matter which combination you go with, together with the power plant on this mower, you're going to actually find a top forward speed of about 8 miles an hour, and in reverse, you'll be able to back up at about 4. So that's going to help you get your coverage done in no time at all. So finally, let's get back here and take a look at what's power in this unit. So here on my 52-inch version, I've got a Kawasaki FR691V. That's going to be, of course, a 2-cylinder engine, and it's going to put about 23 horsepower out to the power components. Now, the 44-inch version, you're going to find a slightly smaller tuned 21.5-inch 651V, and on the 60-inch, we'll find a 24 horsepower 730V. Either way you go, you're going to have plenty of power to run the blades and to get you the speed that you need out of this machine. Going down to the transaxles, on all units, we're going to find Hydro Gear ZT3100s. Very popular commercial unit. That's a very common sort of industry standard transaxle. That's going to give you long life on this mower. And it also is a serviceable transmission, so you can do regular fluid changes to help prolong the life of your transaxles as well. And speaking of maintenance, that's one of the other great things about the design of this mower. The engineers were really thinking about how to make it easier for you to get in there and do those common maintenances. So I'm going to show you some of the features there too while we're at it, see how you can prolong the life of your mower without having to do too much work. One of the first things we'll find is it's very easy to lift the seat up and out of the way. Doing that's going to give you access to your battery, which is down here in the front. And as I mentioned earlier, your transaxle fluid reservoirs are right here on each side, and you can also get to your fuel filter here as well. Now behind the engine, you don't need to take this off yet. It's very easy to pull this cover up out of the way and you can get to your air filter on the unit. Go ahead and put that right back. But this entire rear cover here comes off easily as well. So all you need to do to remove the rear guard is actually take out these 2 thumb screws on either side, and then the guard itself is going to be held in place at the bottom by 2 snap grommets similar to those pulley covers. Pop that out of the way, and then now you've got more access to actually get to your carburetor or your air intake or any other components in the back that need access. To put it back, you just reverse the process. You're going to have to snap it back in place, put your 2 thumb bolts back in, and you're good to go. Down here on the side, we can see how easy it is to actually do the oil change process. All you need to do is actually pull this hose out. You grab yourself 2 wrenches and you crack this nut out, and your oil's going to drain right out of the side here. So you don't have to worry about getting that oil all over everything in the engine bay area. You simply drain it out into your pan, and when you're done, tighten your nut back up. That closes that seal. And we'll go ahead and lock that hose right back in place there. Then fill her up, change out your filter, and you're good to go. But beyond all that regularly scheduled maintenance, if anything does go wrong with your Gravely mower, you're going to be covered by an included 4-year factory warranty with all ZT-HD models. But with Gravely having been building equipment right here in the USA since 1916, that's not likely to happen in the first place. I hope you enjoyed our look at the ZT-HDs. Let us know in the comments if you think it might be a good mower for you. And if you found the video helpful, go ahead and leave us a like. It helps us out a lot. And if you want to check one of these mowers out, feel free to visit us at crystaltractor.com and see our full available lineup there, or visit us here in person at any one of our 16 Crystal Tractor locations. We'd love to see you here in person. Thanks for checking out our video.